Welcome to the September 2025 Virtual Digital Learning PLC. This short video will cover updates, new tools and strategies, and other things to help keep you in the know. I'm Charles Creasy. I support secondary math, science, CTE, health, and PE teachers. Heather Tizer supports secondary RLA, social studies, fine arts, and LOTE teachers. April Hernandez supports our campus and central administrators. This month, we're looking at a couple of updates to Canvas. We'll talk about the new Canvas template that was added to your course this year, as well as the importance of ADA accessibility and how you can ensure that your courses stay compliant. We'll also discuss Parent Observer accounts and how parents can use them to stay in the know. So let's get started. Before we look at the new Canvas template and how you can customize it, we want to share the reason for the new template. Imagine that you're a student with 7 different teachers. Each teacher uses Canvas in a slightly different way. Some use a calendar on the homepage and have students find the date and click on the assignment. Another teacher uses modules to organize material. Another posts everything on a Google Doc and links to that document. Students have to learn potentially a half dozen different ways that teachers have organized a course in order for them to successfully find and complete assignments or interact with the course. Now imagine that you're the parent of one of these students. Or even worse, several of these students. You would have to learn how to navigate potentially dozens of different Canvas courses. While each teacher may believe that their way makes sense and is the easiest, we needed to create a consistent way for students and parents to always interact with Canvas. Additionally, the Americans with Disabilities Act requires that all city and public institutions, including school districts, create accessible websites. New Department of Justice regulations require our Canvas courses to meet accessibility requirements by April of 2026, whether you have students with disabilities or not. What this means for you is that as you create content in your Canvas course this year, you'll want to check that it's accessible. Here are some common things to look for when ensuring accessible design. When you're using pictures, make sure that they're not pictures of text. This commonly happens if you screenshot something and then paste that screenshot. Using HTML tables to create formatting is another issue. Tables should only be used for displaying data and should include a caption and defined headers. Images that are missing alt text that describe the image for screen reader technology. Not using headings to define the structure of the page, and ensuring that documents and videos also include things like closed captions or that they're themselves accessible. This can seem like a pretty big challenge, and it can be confusing to determine what is and isn't accessible. Our recommendation for teachers and staff when it comes to accessibility is to use the Canvas Accessibility Checker. This tool will catch these common accessibility issues and help you fix them automatically. Let's take a look at how to use the Accessibility Checker to fix a course homepage with some of these issues. So this is a demo homepage that looks really nice, but it would be difficult or even impossible for a student with a visual disability to use. A few of the issues are that the text on the page is all inside of images. And while the table of buttons looks really nice, it would confuse a screen reader since the information contained in each cell isn't really data. It's just there to help line things up. To fix it, I'll click the Accessibility Checker down in the bottom right-hand corner. The window will pop out to the side and walk me through each of the identified issues. For example, here it's telling me that the alt text for the image shouldn't just be the name of the file. Instead, I'll give it a description of what that image is or the text that's on the image. I'll click Apply then to make the change to the image. For my table, in this case, it's suggesting that I add a caption and a header. This is where I'll need to determine if my table is actually for sharing information or if it's just designed to help with layout. If it is for sharing information, I'll need to add a caption describing what the whole table is and then also identify the column and row headings. In this case, I can see that my table doesn't really have meaning for the rows and columns, so I'll move the buttons out in just a moment and then remove the table. Finally, once I've fixed all of the errors, the Accessibility Checker will tell me that my page is ready to go. The Canvas template that was added to your course this year is an option for you if you'd like an accessible template that you can simply fill in. If you've copied over the template and decide later that you want to use it, you can always re-download it from the Canvas Commons. You can still edit the template homepage if you wish. Just ensure that it meets the accessibility requirements. Also, if you want to edit the homepage image, you can do that by going to the course modules and clicking the Teacher Resources link and then choosing the Canva template. You can then edit that template and replace the blank default image in your course header. Finally, in the past, parents have been able to become observers for their students in Canvas. This allows them to see announcements, due dates, and their students' submissions for published courses. However, in the past, parents have had to request a pairing code for their child and then manually link themselves to their child's account. This year, all parents in Focus have been automatically added to their child's Canvas account as an observer. What this means for you is that you no longer have to print off and send out pairing codes. We've put together a few one-pagers for parents about how to use their accounts, how to manage notifications, and how they can navigate in Canvas if they have multiple students at different campuses. These are available on the Help Desk's website and the Canvas Parent Hub linked on the Canvas homepage, and as one-pagers that can be shared by campuses or individual teachers. We hope your year is off to a great start. If you have any questions or need anything from the digital learning team, please don't hesitate to reach out.